So this week I want to discuss the Amy Cooper and Christian Cooper incident that occurred in New York City in Central Park. This is the situation where this white woman called the police on this African American man really for no reason. So we're going to break down what happened, why this is so destructive and potentially dangerous for black men and women in this country. So first, let's start with why Mr. Cooper asked her to put her dog on a leash in the first place. In New York City, there is a law that requires dog owners who are out in public to have their dogs on a leash of no more than 6 feet. In fact, in Central Park, there were numerous signs out saying, hey, have your dog on a leash. We know on that particular day, Mr. Cooper was in the park doing what he always does, watching birds. He loved to watch birds. This is the man who is a Harvard graduate, an otherwise very good citizen, a law-abiding citizen. And when he asked her to put her dog on a leash, he did it because he thought that the dog was disrupting his ability to watch the birds. Nothing wrong with that. So the question a lot of folks are asking is, why was he recording her? And is it against the law for him to record her? The answer to that question is, and this is based on reading his Facebook post and hearing some of his interviews, is first he asked her nicely to put the dog on a leash. She began to get irritated and loud, and for his own safety, he decided to pull out his phone to record her for his safety because he didn't know how this woman was going to react, what she was going to do, what she was going to say. And that was a prudent decision to make. The second question is it against the law for him to pull out his phone and record someone? It absolutely is not. Not in New York, not in Georgia. That is not against the law for you to video record someone in a public setting like that. So now I want to show you all the clip of what happened next and break this down.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
So here we see Amy Cooper, aka Karen, walking up to Mr. Cooper, asking him to stop recording her, which he is not required to do. He does not have to stop recording her. And then he says to her, hey, please don't come close to me. Again, given what's going on with this pandemic, he doesn't want her that close to him. Plus, again, he is not required to stop recording her in this very public park. So let's watch what happens next.
I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
I'm sorry, I'm in a ramble, and there is a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
So what you just saw her do, extremely dangerous to a black man or a black woman in this country. Because what she is doing is effectively weaponizing her whiteness. She knows that when she threatens to call the cops on him and tell the 911 dispatcher that there is a black man threatening her, she knows what that's going to bring. The cops are going to come to the scene and they're going to expect to confront a black man who potentially threatened this white woman. And that puts him in a very, very dangerous situation, and she knows it. And what makes it worse is that she not only knows it's dangerous because she's an intelligent woman, this is an investment banker, but she knows that it's a lie. And then you see she's actually acting. She acts it out as if she's in real distress when she's on this 911 call. And it's just unbelievable to watch the lengths to which she would go to use her privilege and to weaponize her whiteness against this black man who simply asked her to put a leash on her dog. Incredible. So I'm sure y'all asking yourselves, is what she did a crime? Is it a crime in New York? Is it a crime all over the country to do what she did? And unfortunately in New York right now, it doesn't appear to be a crime. Back in 2018, there was a black legislator who brought some legislation on this issue to try to make it criminal, to try to make it a misdemeanor with at least 3 months of prison time if you do this. But like a lot of legislation, it got stuck in committees. And it doesn't appear to be the law in New York. And it's certainly not the law here in the state of Georgia. So as a caveat though, if you falsify a police report, that is a crime. But in this case, she wasn't making a police report. She was simply making a 911 call. So unfortunately, even though she's clearly a liar, clearly a despicable human being that did something very, very wrong, it doesn't appear that she's going to suffer any criminal consequences. So I want to end this video with a call to action and specifically first speak to my non-black brothers and sisters. When you see instances of injustice like this and brutality, we want you to show the same outrage as the black community is showing, to show that you're in solidarity with us on these issues. Speak out against it. Let your peers and your friends and your family know that this is wrong and this should not go on in our country. Otherwise, if you're silent, your silence speaks volumes to us. And lastly, for my black brothers and sisters who have been dealing with these issues for decades and centuries in this country, who keep crying out on Facebook, on Instagram, crying out to our brothers of other races and sisters of other races, asking them to care, asking them to empathize with us. At this point in 2020, if those friends of yours don't empathize with you and are not willing to speak out and stand up for you at this point, then you may want to question whether or not they are truly your friends and they're truly for equality for all men and women. And instead, focus on uniting your own community on these issues so that we can address them and they can never happen again.